bro. But at the end of the day, bro, the results are what matter. That's just the truth. And we've gotten caught up in society, with this feel-good mentality that ignores the reality of the results we produce. And the results we produce are how we're judged in the world that we live in almost every single way. So like, dude, there's two sides to that. I mean, there is times where you're gonna do your best and it ain't gonna be enough. That's the reality of competition. And there's a lot of times in my life, dude, where I fucking worked and grinded and put my efforts into something and it didn't fucking work out. And guess what? Nobody really fucking sees those stories. Nobody sees the stories of someone who actually did their full best. So there's two sides of that coin. Actually, it's probably three sides, right? You got the pussy side, you got the real side, and then you got, what happens usually. And what happens usually, I think, is that, most people don't try very hard, and that's just something they tell themselves to let themselves off the hook of why they didn't produce what it is they're trying to produce.
And that you think are your homies right now are going to be the people that are likely going to pull you off course, okay? And you know why? Because they're not on the same path that you're on. This is something that most people can never get over, and this is why most people are most people, and why most people never achieve the things that they want to achieve, because they are too uncomfortable sticking to their own game, to their own plan, and going on their own journey, and not listening to Joe and Steve and Mary from the old neighborhood who are still stuck in that old way of thinking, in that old way of living. And guess what? That's not me judging them. There's nothing wrong with that. They're content. They're probably happy. Okay? Just because they don't want to go make $1 billion or lose 100 pounds or create this awesome, fulfilling existence that, by the way, is worth all the effort to do, just because they don't want to do that doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It just means that your nature and their nature are not aligned anymore. That doesn't mean you can't be friends with them. It doesn't mean that you can't have a beer with them. It doesn't mean you can't have a dinner with them. But what it does mean is that you're gonna have to get real fucking comfortable sticking to your own plan and telling them no when they wanna go out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, okay? This is the truth of success. Most people can't succeed because they can't deal with all the old motherfuckers pulling them off the game plan. That's the bottom line, all right? So if you wanna win, whether it's this year or next year or fucking ever, you're gonna have to get real comfortable keeping your head on your plan. Look, dude, I believe that everybody has a gift. Every single human out there listening right now, you have a gift. The thing that you have working against you is you have all these other people now, right? 30 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't have Instagram. We couldn't watch people and emulate them. We sort of had to learn our own little craft as we went, all right? But now we get to see what everybody's doing. And our tendency as humans is to emulate the style or the personality or the way that someone speaks or the way they do their content and all these different things. But here's the thing that you don't understand is that by doing this, you are actually keeping yourself from becoming great, because the most that you could ever be when you do these things is a watered down, lesser version of what someone else is doing, all right? And how do you know that your own style and your own way of doing things that you would develop little by little by little if you would just take little risks isn't going to be greater than all of those things that you watch? Okay? You cannot be great being a lesser version of what already exists. You can only be great when you execute against your own potential and do your own development. And that means getting up there and looking like a clown. And it means taking little bitty steps forward every single opportunity you get. No one comes out and is just great at business or great at athletics or great at science or great at speaking. It doesn't fucking happen, man. The first speech I ever gave, I remember it, dude. There were 6 fucking people there, all right? And I had a piece of paper and I'm reading the notes and I was shaking. I was freaking the fuck out. There's 6 people. 6. That's where I started, man. So like, this isn't a gift. It only seems like a gift because I worked so hard and so long to develop it. And you guys have to do the same thing if you want to be great. If you want to be good and you want to be effective and you want to be, not great, you just want to be good, then yeah, dude, take someone else's style, emulate everything they do. Clearly it might work, but if you want to be great, if you want to be one of the best that's ever fucking lived at what you do, you have to understand that it's about developing our own skills. It's about developing our own style. It's about developing our own swagger. It's about developing our own selves. And we don't do that when we constantly look at other people and admire them or look at them for an example or steal their shit, like so popular out there right these days. So if you want to be great, guys, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the talent. It's not that everybody doesn't have the potential. Everybody has the potential. It's just they're not developing it because there's too much distraction out that we didn't have 20 years ago. I want you to think about something real quick. Tell me one thing in your life that is great that came as a result of being comfortable. Because everywhere I look and everywhere I see in today's society, everybody's doing everything they can to be more comfortable, right? They're looking for the more convenience. They're looking for the quicker. They're looking for the faster. And see, there's opportunity in that for those of you that want to get better. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all the great things in my life, all the great things in other high achievers' lives, all the reasons that these successful people that you look up to, that you aspire to be like, are the way they are, have all come from a place of being uncomfortable. That's just a fact. Okay, so understand that when you're trying to avoid the pain, when you're trying to avoid the struggle, when you're trying to avoid the hard things in life, you are actively choosing to be average. You are actively choosing to be mediocre. And you are actively choosing to move further away from what you want in life. Because that hardship and that pain and that struggle and that frustration, they give you the skills that will forge you into a motherfucking champion. All right, so remember that shit when you try to take the easy route. The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route, the struggle, the pain, the frustration, and the overcoming of those things. And not only do they pay, they fulfill you as well. Because it shows the people around you. It shows your kids. It shows your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your community, what is possible. And there's nobility in that. So the thing about a production pivot, that's something I talked about for years and years and years, and I will continue to talk about it because it's extremely powerful, is this, all right? You have to learn to become aware of the two voices that you have and everybody has in their head. One is the bitch voice, right? That's the voice that talks you out of all the things that you should do. And then you have the boss voice. Like the boss voice is the voice that says, hey, motherfucker, why don't you get your fat ass up off the couch and go for a fucking walk, right? It knows what you should do and it tells you what you should do. And then there's you in the middle and you're arguing over this, all right? But I'm gonna teach you the production pivot trick, which is very simple and will lead to dramatically different outcome in your life at a very small increments of time. So it works like this. It's real simple. Your bitch voice says to you, oh man, you've had a long day, worked really hard today. You could take today off and pick it back up tomorrow, dude, and you'll be good, right? That's the bitch voice. The production pivot is you intercepting that data that's going on in your brain and stopping it right where it is, and then using it as a trigger to actually get up and do the thing that this is telling you not to do. Meaning, if it's telling you to not work out, then what you should do is you should flip it right away and then go do some sort of workout. Now, do you have to go run a marathon? No. But if you get up and you went for a 20-minute or 30-minute walk where you normally would have done nothing, think of what's going to happen over the course of time and what your life will look like even after 1 year of doing this. Okay, so learning what a production pivot is and learning how to utilize your own thoughts to trigger productive action is one of the biggest competitive advantages you could ever develop in life. You know who has a plan B? Motherfuckers that lose. That's a fact, okay? Every single person that wins big, every single person that you look at, every single person that you're inspired by, every single person that you aspire to be like, they only have one motherfucking plan, and that is they are gonna win or they are gonna die fucking trying, okay? All these people out there talking about, oh, well, if that doesn't work out, I'll just go back to this, whatever the fuck this is, which happens to be their miserable life they have now, all right? Those people always lose, and I'll tell you why. There's a real easy reason to understand. Because the people who go all in, the motherfuckers who burn the ships and leave themselves no other option but success, those people are dedicating all their skills, all their resources, all their energy into producing a specific outcome. And if you're competing against someone who's going all in with every resource they have, and you're only going half in because you're half in and you're half fucking out, guess what? You're gonna lose. So you guys out there with your plan B mentality, you need to take that shit, crumple it up, and set it on fucking fire, because all it's gonna get you is more of what you already have.